In this video, we are taking a look at the RTX 4080 in the Lenovo Legion Pro 7i. This 2023 version I picked up at Microcenter for around $2,000. So let's take a look at how it performs in several games. So off the bat, one of the first things I wanted to test is OBS recording the Cyberpunk. So if you're not too familiar with my methodology, this involves recording two OBS instances, and actually I've had some issues with this in that I had to change my settings. We'll go into the details of what settings needed to be changed later. For now, let's take a look at Cyberpunk, which is recording again in these two methodologies in these graphic settings. And I was noticing not just a gameplay recording stutter, at least in this testing methodology, but then also in playback right now in Resolve as I'm putting my audio dub over this, also some audio and video playback, which means that even the recording at AV1 settings was not ideal. So something to keep in mind is that RTX 4080s from Nvidia, at least from their perspective, say that you could record and stream on AV1, which is perhaps true, but maybe not true for doing, in my use case, which is two simultaneous recorders or utilizing the encode engine at the same time. Now, I was told, or at least I suspected, that Nvidia thought that you wouldn't have too much graphical degradation or performance issues. However, as you're seeing kind of from my initial tests, is that at least for this use case, you won't be able to do it. Now, most people won't be doing multicam, so you would just be using OBS and streaming to Twitch. I would say for the most part, you can say with this device at a 4080, you could run this 60 FPS with ray tracing and about high to ultra settings.
I was supposed to stop by Vic's anyhow. I got a date.
So I haven't played this game in a while, and I'll let you see some of the gameplay footage. But basically, these are the settings that are with two OBS recordings and me just trying to play around because I haven't played this game in a while. I will put in the video when I have more commentary. Until then, enjoy this footage.
Yeah, this is it. Come on, V. Find me once Vic's done dusting your circuits. We'll hash out what Dex has cooked up for us.
So this time I tried to adjust some further settings, which involve turning off ray tracing, seeing how that does with my performance. I was noticing maybe I'm not doing these settings right, that I'm getting sometimes lag with DLSS, ray tracing, and frame generation. So I need to figure out the right settings, but overall I'd say for the most part you could comfortably do frame generation. And maybe I'm doing DLSS wrong, but you shouldn't get the bad stuttering that I'm getting. So maybe I'm choosing the wrong one, at least from my testing. Anyways, enjoy watching this with ray tracing turned off.
Yeah, this is it. Come on, V. Find me once Vic's done dusting your circuits. We'll hash out what Dex has cooked up for us.
For your eyes do not belong to you, or rather, not only to you.
Oh yeah? When you get those kind of shirts? From way back.
Hey, V. Dr. Vector will see you now.
Finally, in this last test, I decided to turn off frame generation and DLSS is also turned off from this implementation.
I'll sit tight over
And
here.
we can
Me
see
and
when
Misty
I
got a little
do
catching up to
that,
do.
I'm actually getting a severe stuttering lag in the beginning. Kind of stabilizes, but yeah, definitely needed that frame generation. So maybe you could leave a comment on what I'm doing wrong here. I guess super resolution DLSS is not the same thing as far as I was tracking. So when I was messing with that DLSS setting, I was getting really bad performance, and I thought that's supposed to help performance. So yeah, we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out.
Vicky, surprise every old ripper. It's good to see you.
Good to see you too, V. It's been a while. To what do I owe the pleasure today?
Last gig. Had to jack into a client's neuro socket. Think I might have gotten spiked.
Experiencing migraines, nausea, hypersensitivity to bright lights?
Whole kit and caboodle.
All right, kid. We'll sort you out in a flash. Besides that, how are things?
Need some new kit, but tools, not toys, Vic. Time I bumped up my sights and got a grip.
Really? Now? Finally?
Vic, shit's getting real. Got a job from Dex to Sean, hitting the major leagues. Need tech that can perform.
The Dexter Deshawn? Well, that is something. But let me guess. Hasn't paid you yet.
Quit crying, Vic. I'll bring you the eddies later, with interest. You know I will.
Last time. You hear? Chair, please. Kuroshi Optics. Best I've got. Now jack in.
Kuroshi? Whoa. I gave you my word I'd...
We'll work something.
Kuroshi? I gave you...
We'll work. You peruse and choose while I scan. See what's going on inside. Mark 1, like I said. In layman's terms...
I'm ready.
Excellent. Lay that. Just like that. Thanks. Now, a bit of... Feel anything?
Play by play, though.
Don't be... Lights out for him. Okay, let's test this. See the magic in action. Linking you in. You might feel a little discomfort at first. Blurred vision, low contrast, glitches. Well, how's it look? Feel all right to you?
Oh, this is...
Oh. It might. I also injected him. Run in. Now draw your weapon.
Shit, Victor, not bad.
Say you'll take this and remember.
Thanks again, Vic.
Go on, kid. Show them what you're made of. And once you hit the big leagues, don't forget where you came from.
Heart chakra looks a little out of whack, babe.
So now we are switched to Spiderman and my testing in this methodology. I will say that it performed pretty well. There were some instances where I'm still obviously testing and putting this computer through the ringer, but I believe that the AV1 settings with multicam are maybe leading to some of this performance degradation in terms of having two OBS encoders running. I do actually switch up my methodology, and I'll talk about that later in this video, where instead of doing two OBS settings running at the same time, I do one OBS and make the canvas size effectively two 1080p's. So you'll see that. Let's take a look at the freezing / some of this gameplay. So obviously I am seeing this footage and putting audio over it. I will say that by switching this multicam and seeing that it's lagging, this means that to me OBS is overloaded on the encoding. Again, this is only recording at 1080p, and so it's upscaled later to 4K for YouTube population. I'll say that, yeah, my recommendation if using this machine for content creation, you probably won't be using two OBSs, so you should be fine in terms of having one instance and streaming a 1440p to Twitch. So actually, that was a funny way I died. I thought it was funny I got that recorded as I literally swung and died off screen into the map. So actually, on that note, Spider-Man actually crashed and started having some issues launching, and I was trying to adjust some of the settings. I was finally able to reload it by switching again to the different OBS methodologies. So from here on out, these videos are tested with one OBS using a wide canvas to record the screen and the A6000 at the same time instead of two OBSs, and I believe that helps get this performance better. So let's take a look at this footage now.
Everyone on alert! We got a spider problem. Anyone's here? Are you gonna win? Literally didn't see that coming. Stand up and fight, Spider-Man.
That sniper has a guard watching him. May need to divide and conquer.
Could have been.
Sweet dreams.
There he is! Open fire! Ow! He's getting weaker.
Someone check on Zulu 5. Make sure he's awake. I'll check on him.
Nobody gets past me.
Who's there?
Nighty night.
Might be nothing.
Now what? You son of a... He's gone. Gotta be the spider.
Help me out over here. I need some help here.
What's the matter?
Snoring now.
Who was here?
Damn it! He must have snuck in. Anyone else?
You know we can't have vigilantes trespassing or doing illegal searches,
Yeah, I know.
which is why I brought a warrant. So what do you say we do some perfectly legal searching?
I like the sound of that. What's your name?
Officer Davis. Call me Jeff. And you are? Just messing with you. My son's a big fan.
So, that warrant cover breaking down doors?
Not without a lot of extra paperwork.
Okay. I'll find another way in. Any place this rundown should have a hole in the wall or a broken window.
Check around back. I go myself, but you know.
Not Spiderman.
I feel like I'm in a horror movie. Hello? Any fisherman with a grudge and a hook for a hand?
So I did just want to talk about what the settings are. I know we probably should put this in the beginning, but they are at the very high, and I believe in the settings frame generation isn't on because it kept crashing the game. So this only has ray tracing, frame generation turned off, and DLSS. So yeah, you can see I in-game turn it on, but keep the upscale off, and then I bump up the DLSS, or anti-aliasing actually, sorry. Pretty much I think for most people not using OBS, you could expect to fully max the system out, and if you do record or stream, I need to still test like what's going on with frame generation and whatnot. But there are some settings, some games where it's just completely crashing the system. But this does have frame generation on, so let's take a look at this content.
Jeff, you there? I'm doing my best to refrain from knock-knock jokes.
Appreciate it. You see a junction box powering the door?
Yeah, got it.
If we can overload it, that should force the door open.
Smart, but I don't have anything that packs enough current.
Try this.
Stun gun, genius! Capacitors in this are just what I need for an upgrade I've been thinking of.
So you can see literally right after that scene, I don't know, maybe if there's different settings, graphics, whatever that happened after that cutscene, but it literally kind of freezes my whole system. I'm actually noticing here in this A6000 view that my encoder is getting, this should be playing 60 FPS like my hands or whatnot, right? Not just the screen. So definitely something to keep in mind is that a lot of this testing is done at something that you probably wouldn't be pushing these kind of recording limits. Without OBS on, it will perform pretty much fine. So yeah, something to keep in mind. But yeah, I keep trying to configure some stuff, turning frame generation off, etc., and getting some like lag and crashes. So now something to keep in mind is that I finally switched to HEVC, which is not AV1, and I test out what kind of settings I get. So it's better than it was before. I was kind of hanging, freezing the system, restarted, and was getting choppy 15 to 30 FPS. Now I'm getting 60 FPS at the settings I was at. So let's take a look at some of this gameplay recording.
Check it out. Sound hollow to you? I got a hidden panel, like the one on the door. The conduits lead out the back. Look for another junction box.
Let's see if my mask lenses can pick up the conduits. Did that work?
Nah. Must not be the right box. Keep looking. Thanks. No way I could have unlocked this myself.
Hey, I doubt I would have found it without you. We got a big fat nothing.
Well, there's one secret room that could be more. Notice anything about the floor?
Aha. They can hide the doors, but not the scrapes they leave.
Keep an eye out for more of those.
Last game I tested, Horizon Zero Dawn. We could see in the settings, most things are fully set with DLSS on, upscale quality. I don't believe that there's frame generation in this particular game. I will say that I noticed visually on screen, perhaps due to the OBS, but there, at least to me, was some micro stuttering that was occurring. Like you can even see it in the recording there. It just jumped a little, but you are getting these frames. And I will say that my Vantage settings is put to just the normal. It's not put to performance or turbo. So I would expect that, with certain settings in OBS, just recording at 1080p or streaming instead of doing a multicam recording, you'd be able to play pretty much any game you set to at 100 FPS at least, and at all max settings or high settings. And if you want to do frame generation or whatnot, then you can do that. But yeah, you can see here, even the stuttering from my A6000 view still records that. So one thing I do need to test, and I guess for my future videos or some methodology, I need to have like a stopwatch in my A6000 view that has like milliseconds. So if I have lag recording a stopwatch from the A6000, that means that my encoder is getting overloaded, which would also explain these dropped frames in the gaming. But anyways, enjoy this footage with ultra settings, recording a 2x 1080p video, one being the A6000, one being the screen recording, and also playing this game at max settings.
Fire arrows.
Once you have the parts, you will meet...
The North Gate?
Yes.
I'll go gather the parts.
Aloy.
And
Stock it with ammunition, then.
that sounds... Something's really bothering him. The embrace. My whole life, I've never gone beyond this valley. That'll change after the proving. 2 days. 2 days until I get answers. 2 days, and I'll know who she was. And why I was cast out at birth. As if there could be an excuse for that. All right. Time to gather the parts for some fire arrows. I should find a herd. Ouch.
Will you not help me?
Let's get on with it.
Please. A word?
So I'm going to just take this time to do the outro. This game will, or most games you run, will run at full specs. I showcased in my Dota 2 video that I get 240 FPS, which is the max settings of this machine, or this LCD screen on the machine is 240, and you could pretty much get that. Dota 2 recording with OBS as well, and recording outside of OBS when I just play turbo mode. But as you can see, you know, for $199, if you get this at Microcenter or equivalent, the open box is a pretty good deal, and probably the best 4080 you could get at this price point. And then if it's not open box, I think it retails at $2,229, so about $200 more. And if you make this in Lenovo website, it actually, I think, gets up to 2,800. So definitely a steal if you live by Microcenter to try and get this deal. Otherwise, it's a great machine so far from my initial testings, 2 days of testing, and be on the lookout for any other questions, or any of the movies, sorry. And leave a comment if you have any questions, and I'll make my round to answering it. Have a good one.